Good morning, Floss Tube. It's Julie with Reflections Framing and Stitching. Today is Monday. It's Memorial Day here in the States. It's the 25th of May. This is Floss Tube video number 42.
10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 2 plus 2. Math is great. Is that what she says?
No, she says 'cause math, and I don't think you added it up to 42. I think you went 44 or something. I don't know.
I took math 3 times in college.
I remember that, yes.
Bad class.
Not his forte. It's okay. We love you for other
It was
reasons.
all probability. It wasn't even math.
I think probability is still considered math.
It shouldn't be.
Anyway, welcome.
Hello.
We hope you're all doing well. We're enjoying I'm enjoying my 3-day weekend.
My back is not enjoying it.
Dan has worked pretty hard. I did help on Saturday. We took down a tree and hauled it away.
Filled up an entire truck.
Filled up a truck. It wasn't supposed to be a tree. It was supposed to be a bush. It sat on the corner of the house, but it had kind of taken over. And the boys tried to say that we could just trim it back, but in the end they agreed with me and it had to come down. So it went down. Adam went and got a truck and hauled it away. So the mess got all cleared up. We also trimmed the one remaining maple tree we have. You worked on putting some paving stones down underneath the trash cans.
Mm-hmm.
I put together we've got a new water fountain, and so I worked on putting that together. And Marcia and I put a windmill to replace the pergola that blew over, and kind of got toastified. So we replaced it with a little windmill. I don't know if the vines are going to make it or not. What else did we get accomplished that day?
That day?
Adam power washed the front and back of the house, got Christmas and Halloween off the front porch. So it looks nice now.
Did some mulching.
Did some
Well,
mulching. Yesterday I made some fobs because the website said I had like 8 left and I really only had 4. So 4 of them must have walked out without being paid for. Yeah, that's kind of been our weekend so far. We're starting today with our video, and then I don't know, what do you have planned for the day?
Probably something out in the garage.
It's supposed to rain off and on all day, so probably I'm hoping to get maybe some plants in a couple of pots and maybe make some more fobs or stitch, one of the two. But
I did have a finish though.
Hmm.
My Metro class.
Yes, you did finish your Metro class.
I made it through an online AutoCAD class. That was right in the middle of it. We had to change course and do that. It's not a class that's really made for that. So we made it through. I think I had 8 out of the 10 students make it through. So that means they had to get software, they had to get a computer. It was just a logistical nightmare. And we get to do it all over again this summer because there's no classes at our community college here in Omaha, except for online.
Well, at least you know how to do it now.
Kinda.
So, anyway, what else do you know? Anything new, interesting? Abby called last night to tell us that Reese laughed for the first time. She was all giddy with delight that she was there for that.
Giggles.
Mm-hmm. Emma and Addie both had a birthday last week, so we had cake and ice cream on Monday night and cookie and ice cream on Friday night. So
They came over and helped all day Saturday.
they did come over and help on Saturday. They helped haul the trees over to the truck for us. That was They were good helpers. They did good.
We did have a problem with the trees though, because all of a sudden things would stop and they would go, where's my baby? So they were covertly hiding it in the sticks and branches of the trees and saying that the baby ran off. So.
Yeah, they don't watch their babies very well. So it was fun.
So
we had a good time.
I put the one baby in a branch that was probably 12 foot tall, and I tipped it up so that the baby's up there in the air, and I'm standing there with the branch. Hey, have you seen that baby? No. Well, I saw it trying to climb this tree, and they look up, and the baby was way up in the air, and Emma kind of
panicked a
little bit. Get my baby down.
She panics easily. She does panic easily. So that was fun.
And the babies survived.
Babies did survive. So it's been a good weekend so far. I hope yours has been good. I hope you've accomplished whatever it is that you have wanted to accomplish, whether it's just sitting and stitching or working outside or whatever. Are you hot?
Yep.
Oh.
There we go.
How come you're hot?
I don't know. Step.
Okay. So that's our.
Humid.
It is a little humid out, but my skin likes humidity, so I'm not gonna complain. I can always take a layer off.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you want to start with, hon?
What do you want me to start with?
Why don't we start with our gift that we received?
Alrighty. Should we do one at a time?
Our neighbor. Okay, I think just wait. I think I've talked about the bottle of Mogan David that has been going back and forth between our house and the neighbor's house for probably at least 15 years. At least.
We were trying to figure it out.
I can't remember how long this bottle right here, Mogan David. It got started at wasn't it a party we were at when we were talking about?
They ran out of booze.
They ran out of booze. I don't know. Had something to do with the subject of Mogan David came up and how it was not very good wine and
We ended up taking it home or something, didn't we?
I don't remember. But anyway, neither of us drink
Wine.
Mogan David.
Wine.
Dan and I don't drink wine at all. They are very big wine drinkers next door, but not Mogan David. But somehow this big ass bottle ended up coming to our house. And it has gone back and forth between our house and their house for the last 15 or so years. There's not even they don't date Mogan David, so there's no way to tell how old this bottle is. I'm pretty sure it's probably pure vinegar at this point. But so we were working out in the yard yesterday, and Ruth comes over with this brown paper bag, and she says, "I've got a gift for you." And I said, "Oh, okay." So I look in the bag and hand me the red thing. The first thing I saw when I looked in the bag was masks. She had made us a couple of masks. I didn't see this piece of paper until later, but what it says is COVID care kit. Toilet paper, hand sanitizer, 2 masks. I don't know where yours went. You must have used it.
I actually used her mask that she gives me.
Chocolate, which Dan has almost eaten this entire bag.
Yep, I wanted to make her feel like it was a nice present.
You're full of shit. And then special liquid drink to kill all germs, which we've decided this could possibly be the cure to
cure,
COVID
which
right
is that.
here. But we're looking for volunteers.
No, we just need to send it to Trump. You'll believe us.
Really? I don't know. Hey, we're looking for volunteers to test that theory. So if you'd like to step up and volunteer to try this, be my guest. But anyway, so it is.
I hate to pop it open.
Not in my house. So anyway, it's back. Dan will think of some creative way to return it to them. I still say the best one was the Cinco de Mayo. We had been remodeling one of our bathrooms, and he took those molded plastic cultured marble, I think is what they call them, countersink thing. We had taken one of those out, and so Dan took that and the bottle of wine and a jar of
5 jars.
5 jars of mayonnaise. Is there anything else?
Mm.
Put it in that sink, put it on their front porch. Did you put a sign or anything?
Nope.
No, just left it on their front
Well, it
porch.
was the 5th of May.
It was the 5th of May. So he called it Cinco de Mayo. Only Cinco de Mayo. It was hilarious, I gotta tell you. That's probably the best one.
Because I didn't tell her what I was doing as I was assembling it together.
Nope, he did not. So he usually comes up with some clever way to send it back over there. I don't have any place to store that thing. It's huge.
The bad part about it is I had to explain it to them. They didn't even figure it out.
Well,
It's like
not everyone's
telling
brain
a
works.
joke, and having to explain your joke.
oh gee, and how often does that happen?
To you all the time. She knows what it is. She just won't laugh or acknowledge it.
No, I won't. So, anyway, I can't remember what else have you done?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
What other different things have you?
Put it in a popcorn can, stick it on the top of a popcorn tin at one time.
Mm-hmm. I know one time we got a I think it was for Valentine's Day,
Mhm.
and it had condoms and edible panties. Yeah.
4th
So,
of July.
We've
yeah.
done 4th of July. We've done graduations,
Mhm.
weddings,
Babies.
Of course, they haven't had any weddings or babies yet.
Not yet.
But, so yeah, he'll have to come up with something soon, I hope.
Yep.
And get the dang thing back out of here. But he enjoyed the chocolate, and he uses the mask, and who can't use an extra roll of toilet paper? So it's just that damn bottle of wine.
2-ply.
Yeah, better than 1-ply stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that happened in the been 3 weeks since our last video. Time sure flies.
It does. I can do this,
Oh.
and you can do something that you do.
Okay, go ahead. In the last video, Dan had shown you a piece of wood he was going to turn into one of his little bowls. It was the Paduke, and he explained that the sawdust is toxic, so you have to really kind of be careful with it. But once it's into a bowl, it's fine. So he got that done. He wants to share that with you.
We've seen the top of it, so they're interchangeable. This is the Paduke bowl.
Isn't that pretty? Look at that.
Like I said, it's an African wood, and I have to say, it looks kind of African to me. Don't you think?
Sure.
We just need some drums in the background.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it came out good. Good thing about it is it's easy to turn. For some reason, I had never worked with it, but on the lathe, it acts like a very soft wood. It doesn't tear and jump all over. So definitely will do that one again. I like the Paduke.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is that all the woodworking you want to talk about?
I'll let you do something.
Oh, you'll let me?
Yeah, I'll let you.
Well, I'm going to skip back to Addie and Emma's birthday, actually Emma's birthday. We took gifts over,
Oh,
and at the end of the opening up of the gifts, Dan had a gift for both of the girls, and unbeknownst to me, a gift for me. It wasn't my birthday. I'm like, why am I getting a gift? So the girls opened up their packages, and it was these little plastic poppers. So you squeeze their, I won't do it, but you well, maybe I will. You squeeze their belly and it pops out, and you get like five balls in the package. And so Emma got the pig.
I like the noise it makes too.
Addie.
The noise just adds to the humor.
Addie got the llama. And me, what do you suppose that my loving husband chose for me? T-Rex.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because of my short arms.
Right.
That's what I think about
You
that.
quite done. Notice how mature I've been. I've not been shooting her.
T-
That was an
T-Rex.
accident.
T-Rex.
Right. What do you got?
Well, probably the ball. Anyway, I thought I would show you how much my husband loves me. T-Rex. Get the pig out of there.
I think he'll probably watch the rest of the video.
You think he'll watch the rest of the
He'll
video?
help us, yeah.
Sure. Well, why don't you just stop? Okay. All right. What have I been working on? We're going to go to whips, I think. Dan only has whip. So I'll do my whips. And I will start with, would you get the damn pig out of the way?
He's not doing anything.
He's in my way. Get him out. I'm going to start with the Springfield 1817 sampler from Twin Peak Primitives. I love the colors in this piece. They are beautiful. Made just a little bit of progress. I have,
Is there enough fabric there?
it's a huge project there. It's going to take that whole piece. It's big. But the colors are stunning. I did do a few little tweaks.
You're color coordinating with your shirt today.
Oh,
Nice job.
yeah, I planned it
Well
that
planned.
way.
Well planned.
Yeah. So I did finish this leaf here. Added a little bit of the border. I did these two things down here. So not a ton, but progress is progress. Right?
How many of those do you have on there? Of
How
that,
many of
that motif?
Just that.
That's it?
That's it.
Hmm.
This is a long-term project. Look. It's
Oh.
just this little corner right
But
here.
I was asking how many, so you have
Oh, there's-
four of those.
there's
to do.
4 of those.
No, there's
There's 4 of those,
five,
and then there's
6. You have 6 of those. Those are
Oh.
basically the same.
well.
Imagine your embarrassment.
Imagine my embarrassment. Yes, it's a big piece. I think what is the stitch count on this? 371 by 416. It's big, but it will be beautiful when it's finished. And I enjoy working on it because the colors are so pretty, and for me that always seems to make it go better is when the colors are really pretty. Yeah. I also worked on French Garden from Samplers Not Forgotten. I am doing mine not on the, I think this was maybe vellum from Picture This Plus that it was called for. But I preferred the colors on a little bit darker fabric. So I'm just doing mine on raw natural. So I have one completed block. Hold that, please. I don't know if you can see that. There's the blocks. So I have 1/4 of that first
Woohoo!
block done.
She's on fire! There was smoke coming out the other day when she was stitching.
I actually had to tear that whole corner out because the chart, all the symbols are kind of similar up there in that corner, and I missed a symbol, and so in order to fix it, I had to tear it all out. So I would be twice as far if I hadn't had to.
2 squares. Ooh.
Oh, you're fun today. I'm going to continue on
Go
just
ahead.
for that. Worked a little bit on our hearts, which was supposed to be for our 40th anniversary, but we may not make it to that point. Someone may die a horrible and ugly death if he's not careful.
Evidenced.
Yeah. They'll know who to come.
Episode 42. If you need to turn that in to the police.
Yeah. So there's my progress there. Pretty much I finished the border and added this little motif there. Oh, I think I did this too.
Yes. Approximately 1/16 of the entire project.
It's not that big a project. Dan. I'm going to take him out, guys. You'll never get to see him again. Stop. Samplers. I can't find my picture of this one. I don't know whether one of the dogs ate it or it's buried somewhere else, but samplers from Scarlet House. I'm doing this one over one on 25 count Lugana that I dyed with walnut crystals. And what I got done on this, I got ABC, I got this portion of the border, I put in this star. I think that's it. This is fun. I enjoy working on the 25 count over one. And the
I
last
don't.
thing I've worked on, what?
That's what you got me doing now.
I know, and you're not enjoying it, are you? Okay, last one. This is my Sunday night project. I only work on it on Sundays. And it's a Quaker Welcome from Lila's studio. Would you stop?
He would clap, but he has no arms.
He has arms. So that's where I'm at. I was working on it last night with Donna and Mary, and I fell asleep. So I didn't get very far. I put in the windows and the door and started the pinky color. So I didn't do too bad for falling asleep. So this one's fun too. They're all fun. Okay, Dan, that's all my whips. What do you got to show?
I'm going to show what I finished.
Okay.
There we go.
He got his, this is Wintertide Cardinal from Artful Offerings. Move it in a little closer so they can see you can see his checkerboard belly.
It wasn't that. How come that wasn't showing up on one person that did that? Did they not do that?
I don't know.
And then talk about
And
how
you
you're
talk
rubbing
about
off.
it. It's your piece. You talk about it.
She's rubbing off on me a little bit because I actually added something to the pattern. You have to go in even farther. So on top of the holly, I added a line of snow, just like
Top and bottom.
top and bottom. So thought that'd give it a little.
And you did that because why?
Well, it just didn't make sense. The snow, I pictured the snow falling softly and landing on the branch and accumulating nicely there. So I thought that it probably would be landing on the holly as well. Why would it not be landing on the holly?
Okay, so question.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be landing on the actual holly?
Well, because that would have been a lot of work. You know, we want to ease into the. We want to ease
You only
into
have
these
it landing on the branch.
Right.
It stands to reason it would also
Well, no.
land on the leaves.
No, think about it, okay? Nature. It's our Zen time, sorry. It's Dan's Zen time. So nature, the snow is falling. Snow is very light, right? This is a light snow accumulating. But on the leaves are delicate. They flutter in the wind, right? And the snow is going to blow off of the leaves. So there wouldn't be any leaves on the billowing leaves of the holly. It would only fall down to the branch. I thought this out.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Okay.
all right, so yeah, you guys can let me know what you think of my ad-libbing there. Julie does it all the time. Nobody gives you any fallback on it.
I just was asking a question. It's a valid question, sweetie. Valid. Completely valid. So, is that all you want to show at this moment in time? I have no new starts. I have no finishes. I have
Okay.
some old things to show you.
Old things. I can show some old things.
Do you want to show
Yeah.
the rest of your
I'll show
wood
you. I'll show you
first?
stuff.
show your wood things?
So, pick a horn book, any horn book. This is under the direction of Julie again. It was originally, I think you showed them, the one that went on the blue, right? But she says in the shop, we're going to have multiple colors. So I'm still working on the red. She says we need a country red.
More of a country red.
And the reds are kind of more like a cherry. There's two different reds there. But I don't think we've really come up on the right red yet. But she mentioned a yellow ochre type color. I think that one's okay. And
On a black.
she wants a black one, which I'll work on probably today. This is how they start out with. Piece of poplar. Poplar works pretty good because it's soft and easy to sand and kind of gives that rustic look to it. There's not a lot of wood grain in the poplar, but it's very popular out there, so that's why I use it. So, black and red are the new ones. A new red.
Mm-hmm.
New red is the new red.
Okay. I mean, like orange is the new black,
Well, yeah, but
red is the new red.
Mhm.
That makes no sense.
no, it doesn't.
Okay. What's that down there?
This?
Yeah.
Oh,
Other than an old fence post that we took out.
well, I'm thinking about working out a little bit, so I just brought this in so I could work out every now and then. That's all that's for.
Okay.
No, this is going to be. Julie wants some a raised platform, just a piece of wood with some finials, some turned little finial things. So this is part of our old deck. This is part of our old deck, and I'm going to turn down 4 little finials from that. So she wanted rustic. So this old 25-year-old piece of cedar should provide her rustic look.
I just
So
wanted to
another
make
platform.
a riser, so a flat piece of wood with legs on it, to set something else on to bring it up a little bit. So maybe you'll get that started today.
Maybe.
Maybe. Are you going to show your
But go ahead. and
Project?
talk a little bit. I gotta do something. I'll be back.
Oh,
Be right back.
okay. He'll be right back, apparently. I have some, since I don't have any finishes to show you, I have some blasts from the past charts and a couple of finishes from the past. I have always liked Victorian houses. Always wanted to live in a Victorian house. When we first moved into this house, it was all decorated Victorian, so the burgundies and the rich greens and fancy furniture. I've kind of gotten away from that, but I still like the look of a good Victorian house. But back in the day, I used to love the Debbie Patrick Victorian houses, and so I thought I would show you a couple of the ones that I actually finished. I don't know which ones they. What?
I'm doing that this week.
Doing what? This
Showing those.
Oh yeah, I've been meaning to show this for the last 3 videos and keep forgetting. So this week is the week. Like I said, I don't remember which ones these are. I should have been smart enough to put it on the back, but I didn't. So anyway, this one I stitched, and this is one of the rare few that I put my initials and the date on. So I do know that this was stitched back in 2003. And it's stitched on 22 count hardanger over 1. So there it is. Sorry for the glare. I just like all the detail on that. I however, do not like back stitching. These have a ton of back stitching, but it's what makes the project come alive. Dan always refers to it as kind of like the sanding for a wood project. It just isn't any good without the sanding, and
Attention to detail.
these you need that back stitching to really make the details pop out. This is the other one that I finished.
Cool.
And again, I have no idea what it is. It's stitched on 22 count hardanger over 1. And then I thought I would show you some of the other patterns that are in my collection. I had intended at one point, and I guess I'd still like to do it, I think. I had intended to collect all of these, but then Hobby Lobby quit carrying them, and I don't know, I just didn't go online to buy them, so I never finished my collection, but I have a few here to show you. This is Cottages at Oak Bluffs, number 1. Those are apparently in Martha's Vineyard. This is Bridgeway Shops in Sausalito, California.
So are these all after an actual building?
Mm-hmm. E.B. Hall House in Wellsville, New York.
New York.
Olive Street in Kansas City, Missouri. Some of these have a 28 count Lugana in them. Or Jobalum, yeah. I don't know why. I must have intended to do it on there at some point. But that's Olive Street. This one I really want to do. It's the Hildebrandt House in Nevada, Missouri. Maybe we need to go to Nevada, Missouri so I can see it in person.
Road trip.
Can't be that far, right? I have no idea where Nevada, Missouri is.
75 miles an hour now.
Charles Holbrook Mansion, San Francisco.
What was that?
Well, I would say originally Charles Holbrook.
Oh.
Just a guess. This is Gow, I think, Street in San Francisco. Gotta love a yellow house. It's really the only time I like yellow, though, is when it's on a house. And the Ehrlich Lewis home in Bainbridge, Georgia. That's a pretty one.
Georgia,
Be prettier yellow, though.
Georgia.
Don't you think?
Periwinkle is good.
Blue's not my. And just to show, okay, so we've been kind of, social distancing, staying out of stores and such. Not us, but, and last weekend I was really, really wanting to do some shopping, and like at the antique mall. I wanted to shop, but I'm not going there. They're open. I'm not going. So I went on Etsy and I bought a few things. And one of the things I bought was a Victorian house pattern. It was an instant download. It's called Victorian Painted Lady. It says by Anna Duplant, Penumbra Charts. I thought this was a really pretty one. I don't know if I'll ever stitch it. Maybe when I'm retired. There's a lot of those maybe when I'm retired charts. I thought it was really pretty. I like the bench out front.
There's a little bit of filigree on that.
Little bit of filigree on there. I'll bet there's a lot of back stitching. I haven't looked at the actual chart. So, but isn't that pretty?
Cool architecture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pretty. Okay, that's all I have to share, Dan.
Really?
Yes. I've gone through everything. So it's now the Dan show.
Well, she never fails me because I did finish up the Cardinal.
I didn't do this. Melanie did
And
this.
I said, you're going to bring me something else to work on. She never really said anything. Well, 3 days ago, she shows up and says, I volunteered you for a project. I go, okay. And she said, it's for Melanie. Melanie is her sister.
And she never asks for anything.
No, she doesn't. She's the only friend sister that I didn't date before I married Julie. So, yeah, I'll do it for her. Started on it, but I hope she likes it because it's a pain in the ass, I'll tell you. So I want to talk. You have a comment?
It was a downloaded chart.
Which I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
But I'd also like to talk a little bit about stitching on black, okay? This is the first time that I've stitched on black. Probably be the last time that I stitch on black. And not only that, but Julie said, well, we want to, this was supposed to be what, like 24 by
No,
18?
it was not supposed to be 24 by 18.
36 by 24?
No.
42 by
Quit
36.
exaggerating.
Do they see this backwards or do they see it?
I think they see it regular.
Okay.
Okay.
What was I saying?
You want to talk about stitching on black, I think.
Stitching on black. Well, yeah, not only is it black, but it's also, what, 25 over 1?
25 count over 1.
Jeez, look at this. I can't get close enough so you can even see the cross stitch in there. And not only that, she didn't notice, but I said, there's like half stitches in there too.
I didn't
So
look
how
at the
the hell
chart.
am I supposed to do 1 over 1 and then put a half stitch in there too? So I'm kind of ad-libbing it,
You're doing a great job, dear.
and you have to figure out which way to go with the half stitch because it's all text. So just a pain in the butt. I wouldn't do it for any of my sister-in-laws except for Melanie. But talking a little bit.
You only have one other one to
I
choose
know,
from.
I know. I would say she's my favorite, but I don't want it to go to her head.
Again, you don't have much to choose from.
Did I show this?
I don't know if you actually showed that
Yeah,
or
this is what it's supposed to look like when it's done. It's a saying, a Harry Potter saying. I suppose it's her favorite saying.
It is her favorite quote from Harry Potter, and she
And,
wants to hang it in her new kitchen.
She wants to put it in her new kitchen. So how big is it going to be? Maybe 10 by 8
She
or
only wanted
something.
it, yeah, small, 7. Like it'll be like 7 by 8 when it's done.
All right. So the yellow is what I have done so far. I'll make it
You'll
through.
have it done in no time.
I won't. But
Before you know it, you'll be done.
be careful about these downloaded. This was a freebie, you said?
No, I paid. She paid for that.
She paid money for this?
She paid money for it. Yes. Hello, Remy.
10 by 8, and there's 23 pages of pattern. Look at this.
You're not
There's,
technically
I
supposed
can't
to be
see
showing
it. I don't
pattern.
care. Nobody's going to want to do this anyway. But they got pages that have like, look at this. A whole page. It's just impossible to put together.
Well, you could have taped it all together. Work with this.
We don't have a wall big enough if I'd have taped it all together.
How do you really feel about
So
it?
I hope Melanie is feeling.
She's not going to know
She don't.
because although they do watch, hi Ben, hi Kate, they do watch these videos.
Yeah, I wanted to give Ben and Kate a call out too because I think Julie mentioned that this is kind of some of their only interaction they have with the family. So I did want to say hi to those guys. And
Hello.
I got something for you, Ben, that kind of ties in because I'd asked Julie. I'm going to talk more about black stitching, but this one is a different black. And Julie said she probably showed this to you, but this is one of my first cross stitches that I did. It was actually supposed to be a different ship, but when the pattern came, it was this ship. Same artist or same designer, but a different ship. So the picture didn't look like the pattern, so I kind of didn't know what it was going to look like when it was all done. But this is some confetti stitching, I guess, is what I was introduced there. With the little cross is just kind of hanging out there. So everybody should try one of those too, see if you like that. But Ben, the reason I was thinking about you is because this one reminds me of Shackelford's boat. And you know, Ben is homeschool, so there was like 3 things that I read when I was in high school. Well, there was 4 or 5. The first 2 were the ones I had to read, which was Ivanhoe and Of Mice and Men. And the only other books that I read all through high school were 3 topics, either on kamikazes, submarines, or polar exploration. So Ben, if you have to do a book report or something, or you have to do a paper, I'd kind of recommend that you look into polar exploration. Because Shackelford, he had a ship like this that got icebound, and there's a whole good story about that one and a book on that. So you just might want to look at that.
By the way, you can sit down, or do you
I
need
gotta
to go?
get some
Oh,
pictures.
okay. Well, someone, I can't remember who it was, said they didn't know the story of how you got started stitching.
Yeah.
So I said you would tell your version of it.
For today?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, if I'd known that, I'd have brought my one project that I started.
And where is it?
I don't know.
Well, then you couldn't have brought it. Neither one of us knows where it is. But we'll let you continue your talking about black. Go
All right,
ahead.
so-
Just sit here quietly.
Stitching on black. If you've done it, you're probably in agreement with me with it's not much fun to do. But I have to give a kudo out here to my wife because I don't know if she has ever shown this one to you. But black fabric with this beautiful horse. And there's a sister pattern to this too, right?
There is. I've got about halfway done.
So this is just really cool. This is a,
Hard not to get the glare though.
yeah, it's so big. This is a point of contention within the family because the girls are fighting over who gets it when we're, so they both want it pretty bad. Now Adam,
There will be 2.
okay,
There will be this one, and there will be the oranger one, and I think Amy wants the oranger one,
okay.
the one that's not done yet. Actually, Amy wants them both, but I don't know.
So here's another one. Have you shown this one to them?
I have a long time ago.
A long time ago, in a land far, far away where unicorns lived. This one is black, pretty much total coverage.
It's a Teresa Wentzler.
Just really, really pretty. I know she's proud of it.
That was actually one of my earlier pieces.
Yeah, I was talking about that she just really hasn't stitched anything that massive of a stitch lately.
Not
Kind of a
really.
challenge. So what are your comments on stitching on black?
It sucks, and I recommend not doing it.
Okay.
You can put a good lighting. You need good lighting.
Mhm.
For me, it works best to work outside, because even your out lights and stuff don't. Natural sunshine seems to be better, and you can put either a light box on your lap or a
Mhm.
white towel, and that will help. But basically, it's not
It's-
fun.
It's tough.
Looks beautiful when it's done, but it's not what I would consider really fun. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. So,
All right, so that's my
okay.
two bits on black stitching.
Okay. Well, I don't have anything else. So you can tell your story if you'd like, and I'll just add my thoughts as we go.
Okay, well, did this happen when you were working for Kim, or had you already started your shop?
The stitching
Yeah,
no, I was working with Marianne on the shop.
so it was at least 4 years ago.
Probably 5, maybe even 6 years
Wow.
ago.
Okay. Well, so
Did you want me to pause this so you could go find your
I don't know.
second
I don't
piece?
even know where to look.
Your box? I'm talking about.
My lord, box.
Yes,
Okay.
that is part of the story.
Okay.
I'll pause for just a minute while he goes and finds a prop. And we're back. Okay, so begin at the beginning. Here's a prompt for you. I've been stitching since we were married, pretty much.
Mhm.
So 5 or 6 years ago would have been about 35 years into our marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And you decided to stitch. What brought you to that decision?
I don't know the exact reason, but I think I just started to see that it's something that was going to be your passion
Mm-hmm.
for the foreseeable future. As far as maybe I knew you were going to buy the store at some point. I knew that you were going to become a shop owner. Just
Okay.
because I think you had mentioned it, and we're kind of waiting for the opportunity and the
Courage.
intestinal fortitude to go through with
The
it.
courage.
which
Okay.
was-
Do you remember the retreat where the sisters gathered up a bunch of stuff off the swap table and gave it to you?
Mhm. Yep.
Did that was before you were stitching? Did that spur you to try it?
Well,
What do you think? Because
I
it was
think-
right around that time.
Yeah, I think I had talked to either you or some people about I should try this. So
Okay.
maybe that's why they gathered all that. I wasn't at the retreat. I was just
You were out
helping.
there.
I was helping do something.
For an evening.
Yeah. So yeah, they had the swap table, and they gave me. It was just the grunge of the swap table. So that's the Dan could
Kind of
do.
bad shit, yeah.
Or Oregon Trail one.
I
And
don't remember
there's
what,
some-
but
there's some
anyway.
bad ones.
Okay, so where did you get the bass that you started with?
That came from Hobby Lobby. That
Okay.
was a Dimensions
So
kit.
you went to Hobby Lobby,
Mhm.
said I'm gonna stitch.
Right.
Okay.
But I wanted it to be a surprise. I wanted to get it done, not knowing how to do it, not knowing what it was going to take to do it. And that was a fairly challenging piece. I mean, it was
It was not an easy first piece.
12
no.
by 16 or something, just a,
Lots
typical.
of back stitching,
Yep.
quarter stitches, I think, half stitches, on Ada.
And it was a fish. It was a bass jumping out of the water after a lure, a fishing lure. So anyway, I set up downstairs, and I used the facade that I was just going down to watch my fish, because I just set up my fish tank.
I had given him fish for Christmas, a fish tank.
Mhm.
He'd gone and got some fish, and he every night said he was going down to feed the fish. and he never came back. And I couldn't figure out what the hell was so fascinating about those damn fish.
It was a Zen thing, you know.
It was
The
not a
lighting,
Zen
the
thing.
bubbling, and they were guppies, so they all had
They're
pretty
fish.
tails. They were pretty guppies.
They're fish.
So I was watching them just float across the panoramic view, down, bubbles in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely some feng shui going on. But that was how I managed to work on it for an hour or two every night. Probably for about 3 weeks, I got away with that. By this time, I'm about 2/3 of the way done with the bass. And she pops down the stairs. Were you looking for me, or were you
Yeah,
coming down?
I was trying to figure out why these fish were so fascinating.
Hmm.
What was taking you so long to feed your fish every night? And so we have, stairs, they're like 4 or 5 down, and then it turns and you go down another 4 or 5, but you can see through the railing. So I opened up the basement door and started going down, and I can see him. He's sitting in the red chair, and he's got a pair of pink readers sitting on his nose down here.
I stole them from his stash.
Stole my pink readers. And I could see the corner of the cross stitch. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he whips around, and the look of shock on his face, it was hilarious. And he's like, you're not supposed to see this. Well, it was too late. I already saw it. So continue.
I don't really know what happened after that, except
He was out at
I did finish it, and I think you intervened and kind of helped me a little bit
probably a little bit.
as far as what I was doing wrong, of course. So I unstitched 3 weeks of work, and no, I didn't.
Did not. They all know you don't like to unstitch anything,
No.
or your Hawk Run Hollow would be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did get it finished up, and it actually has I went to the Walmart or somewhere and picked up a bass fishing lure. So it's actually got a real fishing lure attached to it with some fishing line that goes off onto the side. So we never got it framed though.
No, didn't think I really wanted to spend money
No.
framing that ugly fish. So, but he finished it up right around market time. And so he asked me if I was going to bring him home something from market to stitch. And I told him at the time that I wasn't sure that I could find any man stitching at market, but I would
Term that I came up with when we started doing
Yeah.
this.
but I would look. And so off to market we went, and we were browsing around, and happened to be in Milady's Needle. And I turned around, and there was this model that she had sitting there, and it was called,
My lord.
was it My Lord's Necessities box, I think, is what it was called. At the time, Downton Abbey was also very popular, and we both liked to watch it. And he had started asking everyone to refer to him as Your Lordship or My Lord when speaking to him. And so I saw this My Lord's Necessities box, and I'm like, oh my God, that's just the most perfect thing for him. So I bought it and brought it home. And I presented it to him. I got a silver platter, probably one of these up here. Silver platter, and I put a rose vase with a bud in it, and it laid the chart on there. I think there were white gloves involved also, if I'm remembering correctly. And he was sitting in his chair up here, and I come up beside him, and I bend over like a butler would do, and I said, "For you, my lord."
Servant, yes. Just
Yeah.
a butler.
Yeah, whatever. Said, "For you, my lord," and presented him with this chart that I had found. which he has stitched. He sent it to the state fair. He also finished the box, which was a Hobby Lobby box, but that's my Lord's necessities box. I don't know that he uses it for anything, any necessities, but he stained it green. And he flocked his box.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can. So the drawers come out. Hard to do this when you can't. There. But yeah, these are all flocked inside. I just added some leaf fabric to it. But that was his second project. And, you know, I didn't know if he would actually stick to it or not, but he has continued to stitch. He's just a one project at a time stitcher.
1 to 2. Sometimes I'll have 2 started, but...
Mm-hmm. But you tend to finish one before you go on to another one. Except for, you know, the map of Hawk Run.
Mm-hmm.
Sore subject. Someday I'm going to make you finish it, though.
Okay.
Because it's a beautiful
As
piece.
soon as you start referring to me as my lord again.
Well, that's probably not going to happen.
It was pretty funny when I tried to get Connie to do it.
Yes, it was. It was pretty funny.
Do they know Connie?
They know of Connie. They have seen her in a couple of videos, yes.
We would have to expletive delete what she told me.
You probably would, yes. You would have to blur that out. So, but that's how Dan started stitching. I think it was more of a look what I can do kind of thing. Didn't think he would stick with it, but he has. And it's nice to have, you know, someone to stitch with and to share with. I enjoy that.
Pimp stitch for you.
Yeah, to assign stitching things. Yeah.
Probably 75% of the things I've done have been what she wanted me to do.
Maybe. But you chose the map of Hawk Run Hollow.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't make you do that.
No, but it was a stitch along for everybody.
It was a stitch along, but you didn't have to join. And you got your farms; those you chose to do. I bought them, but I was gonna stitch it. Hello, Rags. How you doing? Hello. You're looking a little rough. Looking a little rough, and you smell bad. She was sick. What was it? Saturday.
We call these blitzkriegs, when you'll just be sitting and all of a sudden, whoop.
So she smells. I think she needs another bath to wash that vomit smell off. But, hello, baby. Yes. Just a good girl. Do you have any other pearls of wisdom you wish to share, dear, about stitching?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Would you like to give gentlemen in the audience any encouraging words?
Just the gentleman?
Well, or any new stitcher, because you're relatively new.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have any tips or hints that you would like to know?
No.
You got nothing?
No.
That's a first. No?
No, not really.
Okay. Well, then I guess we're done with our video for the day. We
Okay.
made it through without cracking ourselves up.
Right. Totally serious.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Where's my popper?
You don't have a popper. You didn't buy one for yourself.
I'm not worthy.
So,
I'm not worthy of a popper.
nope.
Boy, Emma sure gets the giggles when she shoots people.
She does.
She thinks that's funny. That's kind of concerning.
I don't think she means it in a bad way. So, okay, we're gonna call this good. We hope you enjoyed the video. Again, I hope everyone is doing well, is healthy. Things are opening up. I was a little appalled by some of the pictures they were showing on the news of the beaches and the pool party and the lack of social distancing. So The shop is going to remain closed for a while longer. Eventually, I know I will have to open up the doors again, but I just don't think people are being smart. So,
Enjoy your stitching.
yep. Take care. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.